Hello, this is Cynthia Sue Larson with RealityShifters.com, talking with you today about mastering the ethics of reality shifts. And I've got a great quote for you. This one says, "But all lost things are in the angel's keeping, love." That's by Helen Hunt Jackson, and I love the way she captures the feeling that when you lose something, it's not really necessarily gone. It's in someone's care, even if you can't see whose care it's in. Which brings us into the ethics of reality shifts. And what do we do when we find something that isn't ours, or it wasn't until we found it? In the case of finding money or a diamond ring on the street, we know that the right thing to do would be to take good care of it until we can contact the rightful owner. But in an article recently posted in the San Francisco Chronicle, "The Murky Ethics of Found Money," the author proposes the question that maybe it's sometimes a perfect missing piece to whatever moral puzzle we've constructed in our own mind. What an amazing quote. I mean, what if we find something and rather than returning it to the rightful owner, we feel like, well, I need this money right now. It's mine. That's convenient to do, but it may not be the right thing to do. Chances are we're going to feel a lot better if we do the right thing. And that's even true when things come to us at times when obviously nobody put it there. I describe such an incident in my book, Reality Shifter's Guide to High Energy Money. And what I describe is the time my daughters and I went to a Mexican restaurant to have dinner. We were there for a little while, had our meal, and then I wanted to pay the waitress a cash tip rather than put everything on the credit card. But I didn't have enough $1 bills. In fact, I didn't have any at all. I checked my wallet, there was nothing in there. So I checked with my daughters and said, "Should I check again?" They said yes. So I opened up my wallet again, looked inside, and there was a $1 bill. I was so amazed. So I shut it again, and I turned and I conspiratorially asked my daughter that was sitting right next to me, "Should we check again?" And she said, "Yes!" So we opened up it again, another $1 bill. We kept doing that for as many dollar bills as I needed for that tip. And the beautiful thing here was, obviously, this money was earmarked for that waitress's tip. So it was clear right from the beginning that this isn't something of finders keepers, this is finders sharers. And when we get into that attitude of forgiving others and not seeing and holding grudges with people, even if we have never met them, but just because for some reason we don't like the way they're complaining or whining or have the wrong politics or religion, what if we can look past all of that, including all of the things that they have done which are so terrible and evil of the past, and look right past that and do the right thing anyway. This is the realm of the angels, and that's why I love that quote so much, because we can aspire toward these high ethical ideals. Some of us are working very hard to get there, and for those who haven't even thought about it, that's why I'm mentioning this today. I'd also like to share with you something amazing, because there's a book which Dr. Larry Dossey wrote, and it's called Be Careful What You Wish For. You just might get it. And of course most of us will think, what's wrong with that? Sometimes though, when we wish for something and it isn't really for everyone's best interest, in fact we're wishing evil on someone because we think, I think erroneously, that it's a sort of a win-lose universe. I don't see it that way, by the way. I don't believe that just because one person is winning, someone else must lose, that we have to claw our way to the top. I don't believe in that. I really believe in win-win. That's what I'm all about, and I believe that that's the way the universe works too, when we open our hearts and our minds to that possibility. And so what does that mean in real life? It means when you're wishing for somebody to do well, wish for everybody to do well, not just the person that you're rooting for at the expense of everyone else. Because wonderful things can happen when we keep asking, how good can it get? And also this month I've got some great books to share with you. One of them is The Forbidden Archaeologist. This is a book by Michael Cremo, and he is indeed a renegade. He's really out there because, and I love what he's saying, he's basically saying if we have some evidence that apparently there are things like footprints alongside dinosaur footprints, and they seem to be legitimate. There are things like human remains in California that go back millions of years, and you know they're down below rock, and there's no way they could have gotten there, along with some pretty advanced amazing things that humans obviously made themselves. So these kinds of artifacts, bones, footprints, even shoes, have been found millions of years back in time, much farther than anyone usually believes that humans walk the earth. So Michael Cremo challenged us to ask what's really going on, and why are we throwing out the baby with the bathwater? You know, why throw out all the facts just because they don't fit the theories? It's a great question. It's a great book. Another great book is Thomas Berry, Dreamer of the Earth, and wow, I can just say wow, wow, wow. I love this book because I love nature. You can tell because I do my videos out here. I'm outside in the sunshine with the trees, the birds. And Thomas Berry was a man after my own heart. He is sometimes called the father of environmentalism, and it's for very good reason, because he was thinking way outside of the so-called box. And this is what we all need to do so that we don't make the mistake of trying to solve a problem when we're totally trapped inside of it. What Thomas Berry was suggesting is listen to the earth, listen to the trees, listen to the grass, to the wind, to the animals, to the birds. Really get in tune with it. And yes, this does get into that kind of indigenous mindset. It's very different than typical Western mindset, certainly of scientists, and it's certainly what we need to do now in order to be working and dreaming at one with the earth. So all of the things I've talked about today, you can find them on my website. This is the May 2011 issue of Reality Shifters, and the links to my book, and also the article that I mentioned about the murky ethics of finding money, High Energy Money, the other books, the book that I mentioned by Larry Dossey, they're all there, as well as lots of fabulous reality shift stories, which I think you're going to really love this month. A wonderful award-winning website, New Consciousness Review, and just lots and lots of other things, including questions and answers and so forth. So I hope you'll check it out. And there's some links to some radio interviews I've done recently about high energy money. So if you're interested in finding out more, you'd like to see what's that all about, check that out. Those links are right there on that web page as well. So until next time, keep asking, how good can it get? And I'm Cynthia Sue Larson with RealityShifters.com. Take care.